I think for a lot of people, Barnstable is a very magical place. The Cape is a very magical place, and the Barnstable is kind of the heart of the Cape in so many ways, in terms of the economy, in terms of the entertainment that we have. And the mark of any great city is the quality of its arts. And I think, I'm very proud to say that I think the Symphony is one of the leaders of the arts community. We are the second largest orchestra in Massachusetts, budgeted-wise, second only to another orchestra, you may have heard of it, called the Boston Symphony. But we are one of the few orchestras in the region, New England region, that gives 2 performances. And so we're a significant orchestra, significant arts organization, and it's just so befitting to present something so beautiful as classical music and as pop music in one of the most beautiful settings in the country.
I think it's an incredible time for the town, and it's an incredible honor for the Symphony to be able to be part of that, to be asked to be part of it. And it's been an awful lot of fun working very closely together with a number of people in the town who are so very excited about it. Jessica Grassetti and Lynn Poyant and others who are so totally invested and so excited about it, and have so much historical knowledge and interest. And it's an effort to bring 7 villages together in this historic moment, and that's been the whole focus of everybody who's working on this, including all of us at the Symphony.
We have a lot to choose from. We have 2 singers who have made their name on a national stage. One is Siobhan Magnus, of course, from American Idol fame, but also she performs around the Cape. People know her, love her diversity. I don't think people really know her for her eclectic tastes in music, that she truly has everything from jazz to classical, actually. And so whenever I perform with her, as we will this coming concert, we like to really stretch her. So she'll be doing some Wizard of Oz, and then she'll be actually performing a piece that she wrote for herself called Widow's Walk, which of course has a very strong Cape theme to it. And then she'll be singing a song that was made famous by Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. She'll be singing that with her sister Kaylee. So I mean, that's Siobhan. And then we also have a Grammy-nominated jazz singer named Kate McGarry, who I have just discovered by working with her on this, but a lot of people who've been on the Cape a long time know her. She's a graduate of Barnstable High School, and she's a phenomenal jazz singer. Gorgeous voice, and stylistically so sophisticated. I mean, it's like a really rich glass of wine. It's just so complex and so wonderful. So one evening you're going to hear these 2 artists along with poets, a young poet named Hannah Van Sciver, and we're going to be reading some historical bits from a novel called Cut of Her Jib. We're even paying homage to the Cape artist Edward Gorey, who the general public will know his artistry, especially from being the lead-in to the PBS TV show Mystery, and the wonderful character drawings. And we're going to actually perform the music to the theme of Mystery. It's called Mystery Tango, actually. And it'll be featuring his artistry, too. And we've got this huge commission, of course, by Brett Abigaña, where this young man has written a piece that is incredible homage to the 7 villages of Barnstable. Usually for special anniversaries, a town might give a special speech or erect a plaque or something like that. But it really I think it really speaks to Barnstable's sense of itself, of the importance of the arts, that they would commission a piece by a composer with narrator to tell the story of Barnstable. I think it's very, very inspired. I haven't heard it done that often, and it's a gorgeous piece. I think it really captures the personalities of the 7 villages and the history of the 7 villages. So anyone coming would feel a stronger connection to the community after they hear this piece.
You know, the thing that really struck me, I've always thought that every town kind of has its own feel, and Barnstable kind of defied that a little bit, in that every village has its own feel, but it's all, of course, part of the larger town of Barnstable. And that was something that I found really unique and inspiring, because there seems to be something literally for everybody. Every village has its own niche, I guess. And I found that really intriguing. So, of course, part of the challenge for me as a composer then is to write one unified piece that somehow captures all 7 of these different village feels. And I hope I've done that. There's one central theme that actually runs throughout the entire piece, and the notes of that theme are literally the word Barnstable. So the letter B is the note B, and so on. And there's some various musical processes that I go through in order to find those notes that aren't represented in the alphabet correctly. But that is heard right at the beginning of the piece, and it kind of shows up and is referenced throughout the piece. Every village, likewise, has its own section, its own theme, and its own character based on what I saw. There's a certain element of defiance and another element of embracing Mother Nature. There's purely on a physical level, the whole Cape is that outstretched fist, kind of daring the Atlantic to bring it on, as it seems to do every year. And it's always been that way. I was told very specifically, it's a hard scrabble existence. You're fighting the elements, the weather, and if you're going to live there, you really have to want to live there. You have to love it. And I've grown to love that area and the town, and I know these residents do, and I wanted to portray that somehow in the music, but of course also in the title. So I think of a stone as being one element, one thing. In this case, it just happens to have 7 faces. Each one is slightly different depending on which one you're viewing. But there's this kind of hard, immovable strength to that imagery that I love. And I think that that seems very appropriate to me, at least, to represent the Cape and Barnstable and the residents thereof.
Well, I think of it as just a big, big birthday party for ourselves. It's not a concert in the traditional sense, although we enjoy doing that. But this is more about feeling a sense of pride and appreciation. I think we'll actually present a lot of information that most residents had no idea, that Barnstable was so rich in history and the 7 villages. And I think a lot of people who may not usually come and hear music, live music, especially those in the younger generation, will find this to be an eclectic buffet of different kinds of music and styles.
In talking to Jung-Ho, we talked a lot about what we want the audience to feel as they were walking out of the hall at the end of the concert. And, we want them to walk away very proud of where they live, of what the town is and what it represents, and who they are and what they represent. I want them walking away saying to themselves, I am so very lucky to live here.